Welcome everyone. Today finds me in Baraboo, Wisconsin, the home of the Ringling Brothers Circus. Experience the thrill that never grows old. And will you look at this beautiful setting right along the flowing river. And one of the first things that we see outside is this really neat circus wagon. Wow, isn't this something? Kind of sad to think that they kept animals in here, but yet it is really cool. I don't know what this was. Maybe it was for a hippopotamus or something, because it looks like it has a water tank in it. But that's really neat. Well, all I had to do was read the sign. It was for a sea lion. The Cole Brothers Circus. I worked for them when I was a kid. Pretty cool braking system too. You pull on that hand lever and the piece of wood pushes against the tire before disc brakes. Holy cow! Will you look at these old carriages? And there's even a horse. Well, he's not a real horse, but a horse nevertheless. Gives you an idea what this thing might have looked like in its day. I suppose the R is for Ringling. These look like they have not been restored at all. Really gives you a feel for the old-time circus. And look at the floors. Man, what do you think broke through here? These must have been indicators of where the stalls were. Another old carriage. You can almost make something out on the side of that carriage. I can't quite see what it says. I wish you could be here to really experience all the senses, the feel, the sounds, as you hear some of that, and the musty smell of the old wood. You really feel and sense 100 years of the circus when you're in this building. I've got to come back here in the summer and see exactly what they keep in some of these cages. I don't know if I'm supposed to go this way. Look at this. Looks like some deer have been by here. Maybe some raccoons. I'm going to enter the ring. I don't know if I'm supposed to be back here or not, but I want to feel like what it's like to be center stage. And this looks like where they might allow whatever lives in this cage to enter. I could be wrong. I'm not sure what it looks like. Give you an idea how this is laid out. There's the elephant house to the right, the yellow one. These are the two animal houses. There's a wardrobe house. And way over there, on the other side of the cage, is where all those carriages and horses were. Way over in that direction. And across this beautiful river, more of the circus. And you can actually see some of the circus trains. Isn't that cool? They have prints of different animals to guide you throughout the exhibits. Elephants and giraffes and lions and tigers. Their footprints are all over this museum. And there's still more on the other side of the river. Lots more. Isn't this picturesque? And right over here, there's more of this museum. If only I had someone with me, I could get myself on this person's body. Or this clown, which would probably suit me better. And here's a beautiful view of the circus world from this side of the river. What I'm here to see are the wagons. We'll be inside in a minute. But doesn't it look good from the outside? Wow, that looks like the Wicked Witch. They encourage photography but discourage climbing on. Here's something else from the Cole Brothers Circus. And here's a Wicked Witch that we're looking at from the outside. I'm certain I don't know the significance of the wolf, but it's completely enclosed. So I'd imagine that this is more for supplies than animals. Look how ornate this is. That's all carved wood. Think of all the time and effort that went into just making one wheel cover. Not to mention all of this intricate work. We saw the woodcarver's tools in the other building. That in itself had been an interesting job, but it must have kept you busy constantly. And don't you love the trash cans? Actually, I'm not going to throw this in. This is my map. I know how to get around. And I suppose we need a place to work. Look at this. Comes with their own awning. Wow. The hippopotamus lived here. It's not much water for a hippo. They like to go underneath. This is only about 18 inches. They probably weren't that concerned about the welfare and the natural environment of the animals. As long as they could keep them alive and put them on display. And I certainly don't know what kind of animals were kept in here. But it looks like the cage is divided into 2 or 3 sections. My assumption is that this wagon was for the conjoined twins. No, I am wrong. It says this was the snake den. Presented by Walt Disney Studios, Burbank, California, 1962. The sign does give the whole history of this wagon. It was built in 1905, passed along to several different circuses. At some point, it was acquired by the Walt Disney Company, and they donated it to this museum. It just goes on and on and on. I'm mesmerized. I am almost at a loss for words. There's so much to look at, so beautiful, so intricate, so much attention to detail in every one of these wagons. Once again, another Cole Brothers wagon. And this has, I don't know if that's considered a calliope or if that is an organ. It says it's a calliophone. And here's another one. This one seems to be powered by some kind of steam. Not sure, but it looks like maybe this was for purchasing food. They even have train cars in here. So let's go inside what appears to be a livestock car. Oh my goodness. This must be where they kept the horses. I can't even count how many stalls they have here. It's so dark, I apologize, you can't see very well in here. But here you can see they did have canvas covers they could close. Look how bright that is. That's what color this was at one time. Now it's just a dingy brown. And you can see they were ventilated. And of course, absolutely no smoking in this car. This is circus stock car number 349. And look at those horses getting off the very ramp that we just came up. So I'm pretty confident it can hold me. And this refers to it as a menagerie, not even a circus. So these were the living quarters for the owner of the circus, Ed Bostic. Not the Ringling Brothers Circus, but the Bostic Circus. There's his bed. There's a little stove area. Looks like a kitchen, living quarters over there. And while we're up here, we can see inside this particular wagon. And they don't let just anybody inside these. And here's another train car. And they have some old trucks up here. I don't know what this is, but there's a huge missile on the top of this. Employees are forbidden to ride on this wagon. Here is a quote by Hemingway: "The circus is the only ageless delight you can buy for money." I don't know about that, but it's a pretty good one. Around the turn of the century, the Wild West shows were very popular. Here's a covered wagon from the Wild West show. As you might imagine, many of these wagons have been restored, so we're going to walk across the way to the next building where they do the restoration. The C.P. Fox Wagon Restoration Center. This is Chappie Fox. He served as director of the Circus World Museum from 1960 through 1972. Chappie spearheaded the acquisition and the restoration of a lot of the things we're looking at today. Oh wow, what a beautiful carving. It says I can give this wheel a spin. Who can pass up spinning a circus wheel? So they have a lot of interesting restoration pieces here. Here's a 1915 carriage. Look at this, prior to restoration. I think it's important that we keep some of these things vintage so we can see what they look like as nature and time took its toll. Here's a wagon that's actually being restored. Look at all the different components that they're trying to clean up. What is that? A giant bone of some kind? I think that's from an elephant. Some of this looks like it's components from a carousel. And look at that one there. It's a ticket booth. It looks like an elephant. Boy, this must be a fun place to work. Sounds like someone's opening a door. I wonder if they're bringing something in. It's a band organ! was one loud band organ. I've been showing you things throughout that, but I'll bet that lasted a good 5 or 6 minutes. You put in 2 quarters. I didn't do it, somebody else did. I just reaped the benefits. This explains a lot of the wagons that we saw across the way. Oh my goodness. So we saw the shoe, the old lady in the shoe, and we saw the Wicked Witch. You see her down there. Now it all makes sense. Leave it to Barnum. It's the carousel. It's not in operation, but let's go take a look at it. Oh my goodness. This is totally vintage. They left this authentic. I don't know if they have plans to restore it or not, but this is really amazing. Now it does look like some of them have been restored. Like this one here is in much better condition. And yet right behind it, that's what we see. There's a bucking bronco. And although there's no show today, as I've been saying, it's not in season, but there is a one-ring circus here. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. I've been waiting my whole life to do that. Let's sneak backstage. What's back here? Hippodrome manager. I don't know if I'm supposed to be here or not. I guess I'm not hurting anything. Take a quick look around. So this is what a backstage looks like. Okay. This is an interesting train car. 101 Ranch Wild West Show. We have more vehicles. So much to see here. This one appears to be operational. So much to do here. I really have to come back during the summer when this place is in full swing and we can see the shows. I will say this is the best $10 I've ever spent. That's right. The ticket to get into Circus World Museum is only $10. Look at this. They even have animal rides in season, of course. And I imagine that's where the ponies go round and round. Elephant rides will be given 1/2 hour before and after each big top performance. I've been on an elephant. I've been on a camel. So those are probably the 2 weirdest animals I've ever ridden. I just noticed this. Do you see what's behind me? No, not the train. It's a tightrope rigging. I wonder if they have people walking a tightrope across this river during the summer months. This is really very cool. As much fun as this was, I really have to come back during the summer and show you even more. Sure enough, here's a ladder. Look how narrow that thing is. It's about the span of my hand. I bet that's not 10 inches. Goes all the way up to that platform. This is fantastic. The Ringling family portrait. In the back we have Al, Alf T, Gus, Charles, Nato. In the front we have John, Salome, August, Ida, and Henry. I hope you enjoyed our visit to the Circus World Museum in Baraboo, Wisconsin. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe by clicking my face down there in the corner and ring that bell icon up above so you know when I post new videos. Thanks again. I'm Mark from the Average Me channel.